iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max, and this video was shot entirely using those phones. I just want to quickly go over what's new and what I think about the new changes and features, as well as unbox the new devices. And the one unfortunate change this year is that the unboxing experience is just getting more and more boring. Removing the wall charger is one thing. We've been used to that for a few years now, but removing the stickers, that's where I draw the line. It's truly the end of an era. There's a phone, there's a USB-C cable, and that's really it. This iPhone 16 Pro Max is the new Desert Titanium color, and it's a very subtle gold on the back, and it's more prominent around the sides. For the Pro, I got the white titanium, and I will say that while I don't mind this new Desert Titanium option, these Pro colors are getting really boring, almost as boring as the unboxing process. If you want good colors, you'll have to go with the non-Pro. Another new change this year to the Pro lineup is that these phones have gotten bigger, not just in display, but they are physically taller than the previous models. Now, the Pro is up from 6.1 to 6.3 inches, and the iPhone 16 Pro Max is up from 6.7 to 6.9. And it definitely feels bigger in the hand. It's not just a bezel reduction, it's actually a larger phone. Now, unfortunately, Apple said that this iPhone 16 Pro Max is going to have the best battery in an iPhone ever, and so that makes me want to use this as my daily driver. But I really did like the size of the new 6.3-inch iPhone 16 Pro, so it's going to be a tough one for me to decide on. Now, we talked quite a bit about the new camera control button here underneath the power button in our iPhone 16 first impressions video, which you can click the card here in the upper right corner and check it out. But I do really like the idea of this button, but it's going to take some getting used to when it comes to the gestures and the button placement. Regardless, having a button dedicated to launching the camera app and taking photos and videos super quickly is something I can get behind. It's just those double taps and those little lighter presses that are just hard to get used to. Now, the cameras have gone through a little bit of a change as well, specifically the ultra-wide lens. We now have a 48 megapixel sensor. And next week, I'll be doing full videos dedicated to the camera, maybe some camera comparisons. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss that. But for the sake of this impressions video, there are some pictures that you're seeing here. So let me know what you think about the new Pro and Pro Max camera samples. There's also new photographic styles, and this is across the entire lineup, that you have the new tone mapping pad whenever you try to go and edit the photographic styles, which is nice. You can kind of swipe around and find the perfect look and feel for each of your shots. Each photographic style will let you edit the mood, and I think this helps get your photos to another level. And you've been seeing some here. Let me know what you think of these photos with these photographic styles applied to them down in those comments. One of the more impressive features is the new 4K 120 frames per second video that you can take, and this is just for the Pro and Pro Max. Now, you've actually been looking at a lot of these new 4K 120 clips. I've been using it for most of the B-roll that you've seen so far in this video and that you're watching right now. Also, one more cool thing about this is that you can actually change the frame rate to anything that you want between 24, 30, 60, or 120 frames per second in the Photos app. So once you take a video, if you decide that you want to change the frame rate, just go in the editor there and you'll be able to select that, which is pretty cool. Now, for all of the on-camera shots like you see here, this A-roll, I've been using the new audio mix feature, and specifically I have it on studio mode. Since I'm in my studio, I figured that makes sense. I wanted the best voice isolation for me, but there are other different options out there. But want to know again, this is where you can jump back in and tell me, how does it sound? Does it sound bad? Does it sound okay? Does it sound really good? Would love to hear from you. But there are other settings, like I mentioned. You have in-frame, which sounds a bit like studio, where it isolates the background noise. But it really does focus on what is actually in frame. Obviously, it makes sense. So if someone is speaking behind you into the camera, it does a really good job of blocking that out as well, where some of the other modes you might hear it a little bit more prominently. There's also cinematic, which does blend not only the background noise, but what is in frame to give you that look and feel. And then you can kind of dial it in a little bit more. There's a slider at the bottom, and you can dial it into your specific liking, and that's really, really cool. As I mentioned earlier, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is said to have the best in class for battery life. And obviously, I just got this a few hours ago, so I can't really tell you if that's true. So we'll have to save that for my full review. But also, I'll have to save my overall thoughts on the new A18 chip and its performance and power efficiency, and just overall how I feel about it. And the one big thing about the A18 and the A18 Pro chip is that it's Apple Intelligence enabled. That's the whole thing that you need for Apple Intelligence. And that's the biggest new thing about these phones, aside from all the camera features, and it's not out yet. So if you were wondering, where is Apple Intelligence? How do I try all of that out? Well, if you bought a new iPhone 16, 16 Plus, 16 Pro, 16 Pro Max, you actually don't have it yet. It's not currently out. It is in beta, and I've been running it on my phone for the last month or two. In iOS 18.1, you can do the public or developer beta. So if you want to try it early, it is pretty steady. You can get by with it on your daily driver. At least I have been, and I didn't notice anything that was really, annoying. But you only have to wait like a few more weeks to maybe a month. Apple has said in October it will start dropping the Apple Intelligence features, and you won't get all of it. You won't get Genmoji. You won't get the image playground. I haven't even tried that in the beta yet because it's just not out yet. So yeah, Apple Intelligence going to be changing a lot for your phone. The whole new Siri, all of those AI features will be coming later. So this is what you get right now in terms of what's new if you just bought a new iPhone 16 or 16 Pro phone. And if you did, let me know, which one did you get? How were all of the clips? This video was shot entirely using an iPhone 16 Pro or Pro Max. So how was the audio? Let me know all of that in the comments down below. This has been Dan with Mac Rumors. Thanks so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you around in the next video.